What does do? Press to operate.
No!
Don't touch it! The definition of don't press the big red button.
Spider-Man 3 is likely to be a bigger movie than any of us expected. And while it's still shrouded in secrecy, we've rounded up everything you need to know about this possible trip into the Spider-Verse. While there's still a chance that won't happen, there's enough evidence to suggest it is, and that's going to change not just Peter Parker's life, but the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole. Even beyond that, there are a lot of reasons to look forward to the web-slinger's return to this shared world. So, here are the 10 things to expect from Spider-Man 3. By the way, make sure to click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our engaging videos, and use that trigger finger by smashing that like button. Now, let's get into it. Number 10. A new mentor for Spider-Man. Iron Man being integral in bringing Spider-Man into the Avengers was a surprise but welcome way of introducing him to the MCU. Having a hero mentor for Peter to look up to made his story through Homecoming even more endearing. But with Stark now out of the picture, Spider-Man is without his hero guru, and fans have wondered who will step into this mantle. Recently, Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange has been revealed to be appearing in Spider-Man 3, so fans have wondered if he will take Iron Man's place, especially after their interactions in Avengers Infinity War. Despite Spider-Man being a solid hero in his own right, a teenage superhero needs a mentor to coach him into taking a larger role in a future Avengers team. Other heroes that work well as Spidey's teacher would possibly be War Machine or Nick Fury, taking a more significant role than in Far From Home. Fans do not yet know the extent of Doctor Strange's involvement, but there is still plenty of time for new castings to be announced. Number 9. Peter Parker's identity will be known in Spider-Man No Way Home. As revealed in the Spider-Man Far From Home post-credits scene, Peter Parker has been unmasked as the web-slinging superhero. In one last trick, Mysterio manages to release a video that reveals not only Spider-Man's secret identity, but attempts to turn the public against the Wallcrawler by alleging Spider-Man attacked him and all of London. Spider-Man 3 will no doubt deal with the fallout from this revelation, both Spider-Man's identity and his alleged involvement in Mysterio's death/the London attack. No matter what, though, it seems like Spider-Man's time as one of the last masked superheroes in the MCU has come to an end. Number 8. Spider-Man No Way Home villains. Spider-Man No Way Home has become an unexpected and groundbreaking connection between the MCU Spider-Man mythos and Sony's previous Spider-Man films. Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx have been confirmed to be reprising their roles as Dr. Octopus and Electro, respectively. Molina last played Doc Ock in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, with Foxx playing Electro in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. While no further villains have been announced, the antagonist's inclusion from previous Spidey films lends credence to the idea that No Way Home will involve the multiverse. What's more, there have long been rumors Marvel Studios is building to Sinister Six, especially considering Vulture, Shocker, and Scorpion all exist in the MCU. However, Spider-Man Far From Home doesn't set up Sinister Six explicitly, though these villains could return in Spider-Man No Way Home as individual antagonists or a smaller team. It remains to be seen who else Marvel Studios will choose to join the already impressive villain lineup of No Way Home. It's likely whoever else the studio picks will be connected to Spider-Man's identity being revealed, like Scorpion coming after him. Number 7. Ozcorp. Not only does Ozcorp bring the Green Goblin into the picture, but also the friendship between Peter and Harry Osborn, a relationship heavily explored in Sam Raimi's original trilogy and the later Amazing Spider-Man reboots that audiences loved to see. Fans have wondered how Ozcorp would be finally introduced into the MCU. However, now that Iron Man is dead, fans have speculated that Ozcorp may appear to fill a void that Stark Industries might have left a gap for. The introduction of Ozcorp would be an interesting and much-loved element of Spider-Man lore that fans would love, mainly for the possibility of Green Goblin rearing his head at last. Number 6. More of Ned in the chair. Fans were introduced to Ned Leeds, Peter's geeky best friend, who is one of the few who knows his secret identity. Fans fell in love with this new character from Spider-Man Homecoming, who provided some of the best gags in both solo movies. In the first outing for the web-slinging teenager, Ned made a big deal about being Peter's guy in the chair, who helps with technology from a remote location. This was a new element to Peter Parker because in both the original films and the Amazing Spider-Man movies, Peter Parker was a strictly solo act. Fans got to see a small window into Ned in the chair toward the end of Homecoming and were excited to see the funny friend in the sequel. Number 5. J. Jonah Jameson may take a more active role in targeting Spider-Man. A brilliant and crowd-pleasing moment from Spider-Man Far From Home came when J. Jonah Jameson blasted onto a screen in New York. Fans loved that J.K. Simmons reprised his role from Sam Raimi's original trilogy and lost none of his gruff-voiced, Spider-Man-hating demeanor. However, fans want more from the Daily Bugle editor in the third Spider-Man film. The cameo was a brilliant inclusion, but audiences don't want it to be a basic bit of fan service. As such a favorite character from previous Spider-Man outings, audiences would love to see him yell on their screens at least one more time. JJJ should take a larger role in the new movie, especially since Spider-Man is now the menace murderer that he always thinks he is. He should hype up the inevitable manhunt for Peter Parker in the way he does in the comics and earlier movies, taking on a much larger role than just a fleeting cameo. Number 4. A more mature Spider-Man. One of the most beloved qualities of Spider-Man is his immaturity. Throwing quips at bad guys and keeping that young optimism throughout makes the character even more endearing. Being a teenager, it's exactly what you expect from a teenager with these powers. However, over the course of 2 solo movies and 3 team-ups, Peter Parker has been through a lot. His mentor, Tony Stark, died in front of him. He was wiped from existence, and Vulture and Mysterio gave him an emotional and physical beating. And now, his identity is revealed, and the world thinks he is a murderer. Fans want to see how Peter changes and develops. After everything he has been through, seeing a more mature and world-weary Spider-Man would progress his character even more. Number 3. Some familiar faces will return. Zendaya, MJ, and Jacob Batalon, Ned Leeds, were recently spotted on the New York City set of Spider-Man 3. And if you follow the latter on social media, you'll know he's dropped a ton of weight. That could see him take on a more active role in the threequel, while Marissa Tomei has teased plans for May Parker too. Well, I've had her, director John Watts, and I always talked about her being a community organizer. She told Screen Rant earlier this year when asked what fans can expect, and hopefully that track will expand and be part of this one as well. Number 2. Matt Murdock as Peter's lawyer. With Spider-Man a public menace and criminal after Far From Home, there is no doubt some legal implications would be involved. There is a chance that Peter may end up in court after being apprehended or turning himself in, so fans are hoping that their favorite New York-based lawyer will step up to defend a fellow hero. Number 1. Some development of the Sinister Six. This villain team-up has been a classic comic book group with members including Dr. Octopus, Vulture, Electro, Sandman, Mysterio, and Kraven the Hunter. The team has altered over the course of the comics, however, fans are hoping that some version of the Sinister Six will appear. With several villains already established in both MCU's Spider-Man films, a depiction of them on the big screen would be an absolute treat for fans. The Sinister Six has been an integral part of Spider-Man lore, but this would be the first live-action depiction. So, what can you say about the 10 things to expect from Spider-Man 3? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. And oh, hey, if you've enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, so we continue giving you the best content. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.